After more than 200 performances and 40,000 audience members, it is time to say goodbye to Cabaret Zazou. Say it isn't so, say it is not so, but we still have a couple of performances here left all the way through July 2nd. Trio Vertex, of course, one of the acts that performs there. We have Nathan and Isis here to chat all about it. Thank you so much for your time today.
Hey, no worries.
Yeah, nice to be here.
The show started in September of 2022. I know I have seen it multiple times. I know there are friends of mine that have gone to take out-of-town visitors there. I mean, this has become such a big part of the Chicago experience. I mean, talk a little bit about what it's been like for the two of you.
We've had a lot of fun with this show. It's as you said, it's been, well, we'll be, when we close, it will be almost a year, about 11 months of being here, and it's always a privilege to be part of something from the beginning. So of course, creating this show and being here since the very start of it, it is always a great opportunity to be a part of. And as you've so kindly said, the show is so fun. It's we just have a lot of fun doing it, right?
Yeah, and the audiences have been so great. We've had, for as long as I can remember, I think there's been one 4-star review we had on Google, and I assume that was maybe someone clicking the wrong thing by accident. But other than that, it's been just 5 stars across the board. And I can't remember a time where I've ever been in a show that was so universally loved as this one by the audience and by the people in it.
Yeah, that was the thing I was going to ask you, as far as you prepare for a show, you get a new show, you never know how an audience is going to react. And just seems like from the beginning, people were just spreading the word, and it's such a unique, first date experience. People from out of town, and even so many people that live in Chicago, made it a point to come and see the show.
That's it. And it's a really special venue, as you and everyone who has been. The venue is just incredible. Most people, even if you are from Chicago yourself, you don't necessarily know that this venue exists, let alone just how magical the space is. Yeah, hidden gem for sure.
And I think as well with the show itself is that's kind of the beauty of this format, is there's so much content, and the content is so varied. So it's like, okay, maybe you're not the biggest fan of circus, but you might love music, and there's some world-class musicians and world-class singers, and then there's world-class comedians, and then we've got crazy high-level circus acts from all over the world. And it's even if you maybe started to get bored of one thing, we kind of immediately shift gears into something else, and there's like another incredible thing right after it.
I'm going to stop you right there. There's no boredom going on, no matter if you're not 100% fan of something. I mean, you were just entertained from beginning to end. There's no lull. It just, that's where the show goes.
No, but it was kind of crafted by Drea to do that in mind, and so Drea was very meticulous with the order of the acts and the kind of energy and the flow of the show. And I think she really nailed it in that regard, that the show, like you said, it never has a lull. There's no filler. There's no moments where it starts to drag. I don't think. It's like everything is just like a home run after home run after home run.
The performers are from all over the world, and we get to see unique perspectives, but the two of you have worked together for almost 15 years.
Too long.
No, myself and Nathan have worked together for 14 years. Predominantly, most of our career has been as a duo. And then in the past couple of years, we became a trio with Cornelius, and that's why we're now Trio Vertex. It's been about 2 years, just the two of us. It was very much a pandemic thing, the trio. It came from just, having to work in particularly small groups, and it naturally came out of that situation that we were in. There's this one for a while.
Let's talk about some of the other performers as well too. Liv Warfield, she is just a powerhouse. She announced that she was going to be leaving the show, and so people were sad about that. But then the show was just kind of like, all right, here's kind of where we're going to put a nice ribbon and close things off. Talk a little bit about working with her.
Weirdly, we actually don't run into Liv that much in the show. It's only, I was covering Frank, and that was the first time since we opened that I actually got to watch Liv do her thing, because normally either Liv is like right after us, so we're both out of breath and dying, or she's right before us, so we're warming up. But that was a treat for me to see Liv in that like one brief week where I had the time and the space to do it.
Yeah,
she's incredible.
And I have a couple of moments throughout the show where we have crossovers. You know, we, as our skating number, are the first circus act at the very top of the show, and she throws the baton to me, as it were. So myself and her have a little bit of play there. Also during the dinner parade, it's myself and Liv who are, you know, leading that with the fun balloons and stuff through the space. And of course, she sings to our trio, our hand to trapeze act. So again, there's a couple of moments in that where my character is, you know, being pulled towards her energy. So yeah, it's a real treat.
Nathan, you just mentioned that you filled in for Frank. Frank is a superstar. I mean, he is just cracking up the audiences from beginning to the end of the show. You know, what pointers, what tips did he give you as far as like, you know, you're going to be filling in for me, here's a little something that kind of, you know, nail this role?
Frank was so crucial in the kind of creation of that, actually. Like me and him, I wrote a lot of it, and then Frank came in and really tweaked it to the format and tweaked it to the venue and everything else. And he was such a good like ally on it, because he did the perfect balance of kind of not almost like not forcing his style and his way of doing things onto it. Like he was really good at recognizing that like me and him had different styles and rhythms and everything else, and he was so good at bringing out my style. So there wasn't one, I can't remember a time where he said one thing of particular gravitas. It was just kind of a slow drip of knowledge over the month that we worked on it, because he's so quick and he's so smart and he's so funny. And he's so experienced. Like he's been doing this kind of thing since this format was brought to America like 25 years ago. So there's sort of no one better to learn it from than him.
If the opportunity comes about maybe next year or 5 years from now for the whole team to come together and bring Cabaret Zazou back to Chicago, or to bring it to a new city or something, you know, it feels that, you know, from the outside looking in, that it's a family and you've created this unique experience that just makes people so happy. I mean, are you both of you in for something like that?
Okay, sign us up.
Another rendition, absolutely. Yeah, we'll be there.
Wonderful. We have a couple of performances left until July 2nd to go ahead and check them out at Cabaret Zazou at the Cambria Hotel. BroadwayInChicago.com is where you can go ahead and get those tickets. Thank you so much for all the joy that you've brought to Chicagoland audiences, for people traveling here, and have a wonderful rest of the run here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you.